What's going on, everybody? Just kind of wanted to go over a few things on the build. I already gave a little bit of an update, but I just kind of wanted to go over the parts we put on this car and what kind of fought us, and things that were kind of easy as well. The whole build itself was pretty simple, not too bad, off-the-shelf parts. First off, DC5 Creations turbo manifold. That fit beautiful, and the only thing I didn't like too much was the placement of the turbo was pretty close to that K-tuned filler neck adapter, and I was contemplating just blocking this off and adding it somewhere else in the system, but I just left it there just for access. Ease of access. But other than that, the turbo manifold fit pretty good. I've seen a couple of them that sit a little bit farther away, but all in all, it fit amazing. Wastegate's down there, 16 millimeter turbo smart wastegate. Let me see what else. Skunk 2 manifold fit perfect, slapped right on. We are using the Pro J 90 millimeter throttle body, and it's already integrated with the V-band clamp, so there's no welding in between. It's just one whole piece. And we are using a Ford Mustang throttle position sensor that's been converted to plug right into the K-Series harness. The only thing that kind of fought us, so we're using the K-Tune water plate as well as the Speed Factory radiator, and all of these parts were different sizes. For example, the water plate, I want to say, was dash 12 or dash 14, forget exactly, as well as the K-tuned water pump. You really can't see it. Electric water pump is tucked away on the right hand side. Actually, let's see if I can go back here. Yeah, she's right there. But I had to get adapters for everything to convert everything to dash 16. Other than that, everything else was pretty straightforward. The fabrication wasn't too hard. This pipe right here was pretty easy to do. Just kind of worked it one piece at a time, as well as this piece right here wasn't too bad. All I pretty much did is I knew that this had to come directly 90 degrees, so I just made a few pie cuts to make a 90 degree, bolted that on. I also made a few pie cuts leading up to about right here, and welded them all together and bolted this on and filled the gap in between with the remaining pie cuts. So it wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be pretty tough, but I knocked it out in about, I'd say, about an hour and a half or so. I was going to use the full tucked radiator, but I had to go with the half size just because the full size rad, well, the tucked rad was touching right below this throttle body, making it way too close and impossible to run. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Let's see what else. I am using the Motion Raceworks vacuum block. This thing works pretty good. Just kind of tucked everything nice and neat, not really having hoses ran everywhere. And I used push lock fittings for just about everything. Just to kind of minimize leaks, and also just ease at the track if I have to take anything apart. The Radium fuel rail with their fuel pressure regulator. The regulator worked good. I did have to get an adapter just to be able to run the AN line. Or actually, no, this one came with it. It's just theirs came with a dash 6 return line, and this is dash 8, so I just had to get an adapter from dash 6 to dash 8 to increase that size. And as well as their Radium fuel rail, it fit good. The only issue was that it didn't bring any spacers, so I had to make my own spacers just to get that fit. And spacers and bolts I had to get just to get that all lined up. What else? Other than that, everything else was pretty straightforward, pretty simple build. I did have issues starting the car, and the main reason was because I wasn't using the factory fuse box assembly. I kind of made my own. And what I did was, let me see if I can show you. I had relays for just about everything: fuel pump, starter, everything you can think of, even running the coils and injectors off their own relays. But you couldn't do that. You had to use the main relay that came factory from Honda if you were going to use their use the K-Pro. So after I wired in the main relay, removed the relays that power the coils and the injectors, everything came to life. But like I said, I switched over to a Haltech 1500. Just made life a lot easier. But that actually was the simplest out of everything. The Haltech plug and play kit was pretty straightforward. Let's see. I am using the PRP's Shreddy 5-point harness with their steering wheel to match, just to kind of tie along with Finishing Line's e-brake. And this is actually the e-brake with what is this? Their locking assembly, so you could just pull the e-brake back, lock this valve, and then the back brakes will just stay activated, just for safety. K-tuned shifter works pretty good. The only thing is there is a bolt under here. You have to kind of take this plate off and flip it upside down. That bolt does like to come loose over time. You are going to have to take this off. I'd say I would do it probably once a year, and just double check that bolt on the bottom of that shifter just to make sure it's nice and tight. But other than that, everything else was good. The AEM was a little tricky to get to work. Not because it's AEM, it's just me. I just kind of had to learn their software and how to integrate it with the Haltech and get that thing to communicate properly. But after I figured that out, everything else was pretty easy. This is actually Whitfield Manufacturing's 10-point roll cage. This thing actually fit pretty good. When it came in, they had circles already painted where the bars are supposed to go. The only thing was these door bars, the circles were actually like all the way up here, and yeah, that wasn't gonna work. But other than that, the fitment on this thing was spot on. Yeah. Let me see what else. I am using YCP Aero Squad's wing with their side skirts. Came out pretty good. He's actually, I believe, in Mexico. He ships them directly from his house in Mexico where he makes them at, and pretty reasonable price. It didn't come with these support bars. I did upgrade them. I want to say, I'm trying to think. I want to say it was, I forget the company name. I'll see if I could put it up in the listing. They were actually, these support bars were more than the actual wing itself. But yeah, not too bad. Let me know what you guys think.